This is video help for problem 7.4. We're imagining magnetization that's being tipped 90 degrees by the appropriate B1 pulse, and we're going to be tipping it around different axes. First of all, though, let's make sure we know what phi is. Phi is the usual polar angle in the xy plane, or that's part of the cylindrical coordinates in the full 3 dimensions. Whenever we have any magnetization perpendicular to z, remember z is really going to be our main magnet direction, we precess around that. We precess around that, remember looking back in this thing here, we precess around that thing actually in a clockwise direction, so we get a minus omega t corresponding to that. But we're going to go to the rotating reference frame where that minus omega t is out. And what we've got left is just some initial phase, and that initial phase is set by our tip. We imagine the tip happening really fast, and then there will be a phi 0 established for the transverse part of the magnetization. We had some magnetization that's been tipped. It has a transverse part. We only care about the transverse part as giving us a signal. In the rotating reference frame, then, we've just got phi 0, and it's defined as normally in polar coordinates as this angle up from the x-axis toward the y-axis. So with that, all we have to do now is think about the different B1 directions. In part A, you know that B1 in the rotating reference frame, prime coordinates now everywhere, in the rotating reference frame, then B1 is fixed. It was defined to be along the x prime axis. We've been able to make that with a coil. So that's fixed in the rotating reference frame. Therefore, we'll precess around it. We've already taken care of the giant precession around B0. We'll precess around that, and remember, looking back on it, it precesses in the clockwise direction and goes 90 degrees. Here, B1 is along the minus y direction. It'll precess in the clockwise direction looking back along B1. So that would be counterclockwise, looking this way, looking from the right, rotating like that. And here, looking back along here, that's going to precess around here now. The B1's along the y prime in part C. It's going to precess in the clockwise direction, so it's going to go backwards, pointing along 90 degrees down and pointing along x prime. And here, when the B1 is pointing along the minus x prime, going in the clockwise direction, looking backwards, and so looking from this way here, looks counterclockwise, it's going to go right like that, 90 degrees down. And I'm not going to say any more. You can tell then, what is that phi 0? What is this direction? What is this direction? What is that direction? What is that direction, given what is the phi of it?